What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, I'm going to be very brief, probably about 60 seconds long, because I lost my trade today. So there really is nothing to talk about. And yeah, let's just wrap this up. So I took this trade. I thought it was in a downtrend, saw a low high formation, lower low break, 3 wick rejections, and then boom, the market went to the upside, lost the trade, we move on. That's it. That's just the lesson for today. Only joking. Roll the intro, please. All right, everybody. So just on a serious note, yes, I did take a loss today. It is what it is. Now, look, I just want to say this because when I posted this trade on Instagram, for some reason, every time I post a losing trade, somebody scores me. Now, I know it's all love. Somebody just trying to help me out in their own ways and their own understanding. But listen to me, right? If I take a trade, I'm taking a trade based on my analysis. How I feel confident about taking this trade. The confluences that I've built up to take this trade. So once I make my mind up that I'm taking a sell on this pair based on my pre-market or pre-trading or whatever you want to call it, my routine before taking a trade, if I decide that I want to take a sell, then guess what? I'm going to take a sell. It's so easy after you've taken a loss to turn around and be like, oh yeah, you know what, Rocks? There was a support level here and the overall trend bias was to the upside. And you can see that it's hit this Fibonacci 3 point, well, this isn't even a Fibonacci, but whatever that level is. And look, we knew it was going to go to the upside. Let me tell you something, George. You didn't know it was going to the upside. Because it could have gone to the upside or downside. There was a 50-50 chance. But when I took the trade, in my head, and based on my analysis, I was 51% right in my analysis. But it doesn't mean it needs to win. Alright? Because if it went down, you lot would have been like, oh yeah, Rocks, I saw the wick rejections to the upside. And I placed my trend line and I realized it was going down on the monthly time frame. And when I used the ABCDEF pattern, oh, this is actually a bat, I could see that it was hitting this, what is this, infinity level. Like, that's not what I'm about. I'm just about taking my trades. It is what it is. And you know what? We move on to the next one. Anyway, so I took this trade, looked at the hourly time frame. This is what I'm looking at this stage, okay? I can see that this area here, current market structure, this is what I'm trading. I'm a day trader. I can see that the market's creating wick rejections in and around this level, okay? This is what I'm focusing on. Now, I scale down to my 15-minute time frame, and at this stage, I'm seeing that the market is in a slight range. So I can see the structural highs and the structural lows in and around these levels, okay? Now I see the breakout to the upside. Remember, I've spoken about this before. If I see a strong candle to the upside and then to the downside, it's an indecision for me. So while I'm looking at this, I'm saying to myself, well, look, price is creating structural highs, came back down, tapped the low, but never came back to the high. I see the bearish pressure, and then I see a lower low in and around this level. Now, I'm not saying this analysis is right for you, but it was right for me at this time. So as I scaled down, I identified that price was making a low high in this formation. And I just said to myself, do you know what? I'm not going to wait for the breakout on this one or the retest. I'm going to go in for the trade, and I'm going to take this trade with confidence because that's how I feel for today. And I'm going to identify that price has pushed to the downside, pulled back, and created this lower high formation. So at this stage, I set my sell stop and I got triggered into the trade. Now, whilst in this trade, price came back to break even, back up to this key level, back to break even, back into my stop loss range, back into profit, etc., etc. And then eventually I got stopped out. Now, it is just what it is, right? Now, one thing you have to understand after taking this loss, for most traders, it's not, or what they believe is that it's their system that's failed. And what they need to understand, in actual fact, that it's not your system that's just failed, it's you failing your system. So if I decide to turn around, or just in general, should I say, if I decide to turn around and they'll say, oh, do you know what, I should have waited for the breakout and, should have waited for the retest and this might have worked out better. Well, that's false reasoning, right? Because if the trade won, then I wouldn't have been thinking, should have waited for the breakout and retest. I'd have just been satisfied that this was a low high formation. What I prefer to gather away from this trade, as opposed to find a reason why it should have or should have not worked, is to look at what happened here, the behavior whilst in the trade, because every trade has a story, a beginning, a middle, and an end. The beginning part of my story had already started. Okay, that was done. Pre-analysis, finding my entries, done my analysis, whatever, and then I took the trade. Now we're into the middle phase. That's the phase where the market does what it wants. It goes and hits my stop loss, goes and hits my take profit, or gets me to break even, and I get stopped out break even. So during the middle phase of my story, I don't want to continue to make too much up whilst in the trade, but if I see that price is failing to break below structure, in theory, what I should be thinking at this stage, as opposed to marrying my trade, is guess what? We're really struggling right now. Maybe, just maybe at this moment in time, it probably is best to get myself out of this trade as soon as possible, even if it goes down, because now the market is identifying to me that guess what? We're holding. It doesn't mean we're going up, right? It just means we're holding. And I don't want to personally be in a trade where I'm just waiting to see what the market's doing. I've taken the trade, I've anticipated that this is the lower high, and I'm also anticipating that if price finally breaks below these levels here, which it did, then the momentum should shift down. And that's not what it did. So with all the opportunities that I had to go break even, well, probably wouldn't have gone break even, but to close this trade out, I should have taken. And that's the lesson that I take from this trade. I don't want to make up a story. You know, if your confidence gets knocked and you don't manage it, guess what happens? Eventually that's going to lead to greed, ego, pride, and so much more. So I don't want to get caught up in my emotions at this stage. I want to reason reasonably. Okay? So anyway, that was the loss. We take the loss, and guess what? You know, I had a very good Monday, had a very good Tuesday, and yes, I took a loss right now. I don't know what's going to happen. New York session, again, you'll probably be watching this after New York session. I may trade or I may not trade. Am I a bit caught up in my emotions about this? I wouldn't say I'm caught up in my emotions, but I'm definitely stirred. I'm definitely stirred because I know I could have closed it, but it just is what it is. It's a numbers game, and right now I'm still plus profit this week. Okay, so traders, rely on your skills and not on your emotions. Make sure that you're back testing. Take a look, if you're in a situation like this now and you find that you're getting stirred up, take a look back at some of your winning trades and boost your confidence. That's it. Just boost your confidence. Rely on your system. You've done the hard work previously, building your foundation, and now it's time to just continue executing. It's a numbers game. So I just want to share with you some of the trades that we could have taken this week, and these are from some of the analysis that I've given out in our setups channel in the Forex Academy community. First one was this week on GU. So this was a setup that was sent out yesterday, I do believe, on GU, and I'll just show you the analysis before the market has actually played out. So this was the analysis. As you can see here, we have a major low, our major high, and look what we're looking for here. We're looking for price to break to the upside, showing that continued bullish pressure before we look for entries. The trend is up. Okay, so this is part of my system, this is part of my trading plan, and this is what I'm waiting for. So let's take a look at the trade. So as you can see here, hourly time frame, this was a major high, major low, and we was waiting for price to break out. So let's go down to our lower time frames. Going to the 15-minute time frame, what we're looking for is for price to show strong signs of bullish pressure to the upside, indicate that bullish pressure, close above structure as a first sign, and then what we're looking for the market to do is create wick rejections. Wick rejections to indicate a higher low formation or potential depletion in bearish pressure to look for a continuation up. Scaling down to the 5-minute time frame, once we see price breaking up above this structure, then we're looking for price to come back to this level to create some sort of double bottom, or we're looking to take the immediate entry, which is more aggressive, to the upside. In this instance, let's analyze this properly. Did we get an entry here? Probably not. You know, price didn't really create a pullback. We had a higher high and a pullback to this level. Would we have entered here? Again, I don't know. You know, I don't see the wick rejections, but let's just say you saw price pushing up, you decided to take a trade like this, stop loss below structure, and then you go for your 1 to 3 risk reward ratio. Again, I don't teach anybody how to enter the markets. You know, I teach a strategy and a skill that you can use for life, and then you use your own intuition to take those trades. So potential opportunity. Now, once price decides to pull back, as it does, you know, that's what the market does, push, pull, exhaust, pull back, whatever you call it. We're waiting for price to create multiple wick rejections. We have that here. Now what are we looking for? Scaling down again, we're looking for the market to create a level Once a level in the market's been created, we're looking for those wick rejections. Again, this has all come from the breakout of that major high we just shown you. Okay, so here now we have the wick rejections, entry above structure, above the candle, sorry, stop loss below structure is what I meant to say, and then go for your 1 to 3 risk reward ratio trade. Simple. Bob's your uncle. Okay, now why am I going to get sweaty on the trade that I lost today when I know yesterday's analysis was absolutely perfect? Even though I didn't take these trades because I'd already taken GJ, there were opportunities there for me. Do you understand? Let's take a look at another one. Aussie dollar USD, right? Look at the structure of this market. This analysis was actually from Monday. So let me share this with you. Okay, so take a look at this. Aussie dollar USD. This was sent out on the 27th. So that was Monday at 11:45 in the setups channel. And we saw this as a major high or low. And we was looking for price to break out, come back to retest the high and then continue up. Okay, let's now go back to the charts. So look what happened here. The major high or low, we see price broke out. Price didn't really leave the structure. And let's say it did. Let's remove this now. Let's say it did. It broke the structure and then came back. Would we be looking for an entry here? Well, I'm not sure. You know, let's say we did take a trade here. So we take a trade here because we was waiting for the breakout and the retest and we lose one trade. Okay, 1R on this trade. Now, let's say we see that price decides to break back in. Are we sell bias? Well, no, not just yet, because we're still following the structure of the market, which is up, and we can see that price is holding at this key level. So this becomes invalid because we're now following the double bottom formation. Here we have our one losing trade. Okay, and then let's go down to our lower time frames. From a 15-minute perspective, was there any trading opportunities? Well, price came back to this level, created a double bottom of the major structure, high or low. And then what we're looking for the market to do is push up, eventually break some of these structural highs, indicating that continued bullish pressure. We're waiting for price to then leave, come back, and then we're looking for our entries. Wick rejections here, stop loss below structure, and then we'll go for our 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio trade. Let's make that 1 to 3 just in case we get called out. And there you go. Did it even hit? It did. You had to suffer price coming back, almost taking you out break even if you did go break even. But, you know, another take profit. So why am I going to get sweaty over my trade today when I know that my system works, my trading plan that I've put together is proven to work, and there's so many trading opportunities every single day for me? Let's take a look at one final example. And this one was very interesting because I sent this analysis out yesterday in the setups channel, and we could clearly see that GJ was showing strong signs of bearish momentum. We had a very strong key level here in the market, and let me just share the analysis with you. So as you can see here, this was the analysis. This was the key level that was broken. And what we was looking for the market to do, I do apologize, it had already broken, was looking for the market to retest and then continue back to the downside. So let's head back to the charts. As you can see here, we was looking for the retest. Price never came back and actually continued pumping to the downside. So what do you do in a situation like this? Well, if the price doesn't come back and retest, what you need to be doing is you need to be marking the major low, where you expect price to show those strong signs of bullish pressure, just as an indication of that potential retest. Once you see price breaking below that structure, what you're then doing is you're scaling down to your lower time frames. You're looking for price to show strong trending markets. So in this instance, a downtrend, lower low, lower high, lower low formation, and then you're just looking to take a trade. So let's do this, right? Let's say now we decided to take the sell in and around this level with our stop loss above structure, and we're going for our 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio trade. Now let's take a look at this. In this instance, if we took the trade over here, this would have been a minus 1R trade. Okay, a minus 1R trade. So you take a loss, but you're still continuing your bias on this market structure because guess what? The trend is still down, price is still creating lower highs and lower lows, and then look here. The market creates a lower high below this previous structure and a double top of that. Now you take this trade in and around this area here with your stop loss above this wick, and then guess what you do? You go for your 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio trade, and guess what? You hit take profit. So what's my point? What am I trying to prove? Well, guys, listen, the point is trading is a numbers game. you are going to take losses, and you're going to take a lot of losses. And just so that you know, okay, through all of the back testing that I've done, from all of the results that I've seen from the members of my community, all of the results prove that if you use a good risk to reward ratio system, you will be a profitable trader if you can stop allowing emotions to take over, all that pride and greed and ego crap, and just focus on the process, taking those trades systematically using good risk management. Guess what? You will make money. Okay? Now, don't think just because you've taken a loss that your system failed or that things should become harder now. No, it's not the case. Clear your heads, stay focused, stay systematic, get through Monday, get through Tuesday, get through Wednesday, get through Thursday, get through Friday, and just do things properly. I can promise you, if you do, you will become a profitable trader. One loss here, whoop-de-doo, we win a trade. What happens? One loss here, whoop-de-doo, we win a trade. Look here, no losses, 2 great trades. Look here, we take a loss, whoop-de-doo. What about my trades on Monday? What about my trades on Tuesday? You know, let the numbers play out, man. Fall in love with the process. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Sorry if I rambled on too much. Guys, smash that like button for me, please. It's very important. Smash it, smash it, smash it. Subscribe if you haven't. And listen, subscribers or those listening to my videos, 51% of you are not subscribing, man. Please support a brother, okay? Subscribe. Turn on notifications for our next video. And until next time, take care.